Welcome to Survival Society, Conversations Beyond Combat. This is a segment where we dive deep into global news, society issues, perspectives surrounding firearms, survival tactics, and being mentally prepared. So what we're going to do is we're going to explore the societal impact, legal landscapes, and community stories that shape the world. This is Big Dog Tactical. If you don't know, now you know. We're trying to rebrand right now. And hey, I got to welcome you to Conversations Beyond Combat. I'm DJ War Machine. I'm locked and loaded. So we're going to dive in. We're going to unpack a social dimension that's affecting the world right now. So the Supreme Court has granted the Biden administration the authority to continue enforcing regulations on ghost guns. Now, if you do not know what a ghost gun is, it's basically an untraceable homemade weapon. At least that is the definition under federal law. So now this ruling that the Supreme Court just pushed, right? It supports the Justice Department's effort to maintain regulations while I'm going to say legal challenges from firearm manufacturers progress in the lower court system. I need you to do some research on this because there's a lot of positives and negatives of this situation. Now, a positive effect is when I look at this situation, right? This decision is a significant step towards enhancing public safety by ensuring that ghost guns, which lack serial numbers, are not subject to background checks or regulated like traditional firearms. Now, the regulations upheld by the Supreme Court require commercial manufacturers and sellers to mark ghost gun kits with serial numbers and maintain a record of individuals who purchased them, thereby making these weapons traceable if they are used in the commission of a crime. Now, this measure aims to prevent felons, minors, and others who are prohibited from obtaining untraceable firearms, potentially reducing gun violence and, of course, aiding law enforcement in their criminal investigations and things of that nature, right? So now the negative effect is that the decision is facing a lot of criticism from individuals who support gun rights and, of course, gun manufacturers who argue that the regulations infringe on individual freedoms and the right to bear arms. Now, they claim that imposing serial numbers and record-keeping requirements on ghost gun kits could be what I'm going to call a slippery slope, because it will lead to more stringent gun control measures in the future. And there's also a concern that these regulations may not effectively deter or act as a deterrent to an individual who is determined to create an untraceable firearm. Now, what I personally think is the Supreme Court's ruling to allow the continued enforcement of ghost gun regulations underscores a gigantic complexity and the contentious nature of gun control in the United States. Now, the decision is a victory for those who are advocating for stricter firearm regulations and improved public safety, and it also raises significant concerns about individual rights and the effectiveness of those measures. Now, this is a legal battle that's in court right now, right, over ghost guns. And man, in the lower courts, they are really fussing and fighting about it. But I'm telling you, it has broader implications of this ruling because it's going to play a crucial role in shaping the future landscape of gun control policies and the impact in society. Now, in your mind, you may be asking yourself, how does this affect the 2A community? So this is what I want you to think about. Now, the Supreme Court's decision to allow the Biden administration to continue regulating ghost guns is going to have a significant impact on the Second Amendment. So now, this is, in my mind, this is what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about public safety assurance. I'm thinking about the prevention of negative publicity, right? Those are two good things that I can see that, something positive could happen. Because some members of the 2A community could view the regulation of ghost guns as a necessary step to ensure public safety. By making these firearms traceable, the government could potentially reduce crime and make it easier for law enforcement to track illegal gun activity, right? Now, this could help in portraying the 2A community as responsible gun owners who support measures that prevent firearms from falling into the wrong hands. And, by supporting regulations that aim to curb gun violence, people in the 2A community can help mitigate negative publicity, right? Because they're demonstrating a willingness to comply with reasonable regulations, because that might improve the community's image and reduce the pressure for more extensive gun control measures, right? So all that sounds good. But now I want you to think about something. I need you to understand, sometimes they say that reality is how you perceive it. So think about the perceived infringement on rights. Think about the increased cost and the burden, because somebody's gonna have to pay for this stuff. And then I want you to also think about, this is a situation that is building distrust in the government. And I say all of these things because a lot of people in the 2A community view any form of gun regulation as an infringement on their constitutional rights. And when you look at the requirement to serialize and keep records of ghost guns, I'm telling you, I see how it can be seen as another step toward increased government control over firearms, which could lead to a broader restriction in the future. See, a lot of times people are thinking about right now, but you got to think about the implications of 20 years from now. Now, there's also concern that this ruling could set a precedent for more stringent regulations, because the fear is that if the government can impose these regulations on ghost guns, it might extend similar measures to other types of firearms and accessories. And guess what that does? That erodes gun rights exponentially. Because you remember these bump stocks, the controversy between this bump stock. I'm getting ready to do a video on that. But I need you to think about this stuff. I'm telling you, man. Look, compliance with new regulations, right, may impose additional costs and administrative burdens on people who are hobbyists. Of course, it's going to affect gun manufacturers, and then ultimately it's going to trickle down to affect the sellers of guns. So then that's going to affect the 2A community because they buy the guns. So this whole debacle will increase cost and burden. And maybe it'll discourage individuals from building or selling ghost guns. And basically that affects personal freedom and it affects business. These are just my thoughts. You can leave your thoughts in the comment section, but I'm telling you, the ruling may deepen the distrust some people in the 2A community have toward the government and just people in general, because they may view the enforcement of these stringent regulations as an overreach and a violation of the Supreme Court's earlier decision, fostering a sense of antagonism and resentment. I'm telling you, man, the Supreme Court's decision to allow the continued regulation of ghost guns under federal law, it is a massively mixed bag. I can see the good, I can see the bad, especially, I can see how it impacts the 2A community. Now, like I said, some people think that, it enhances public safety and may reduce crime, but there's a lot of concerns about the infringements on gun rights, increased regulatory burdens, and the possibility of more extensive future restrictions. Because one thing that I have noticed about the government is that if they impose a regulation and the public does not have a massively volatile reaction to it, then it empowers the government, and then they take a little more. They take a little more and take a little more, and if they keep infringing on these rights, then you won't have a right. You'll just have whatever they tell you to have, because it seems as if it's evolving into a point where it's a dictatorship. Some members in the government want to be able to control and regulate every single thing that you do. And little by little, it seems as if they are moving toward that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So please leave in the comment section, what do you think about the Supreme Court's decision to allow the Biden administration to continue regulating ghost guns? How do you think it will impact the 2A community? Do you believe that ghost guns should be regulated? Do you think that they are a deterrent and that's why they should be regulated? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. That's all for this episode of Survival Society, Conversations Beyond Combat. We hope that you found this discussion thought-provoking, enlightening, and I'm telling you, your voice matters. So join the conversation and share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend about Big Dog Tactical. Until next time, I need you to stay prepared. I need you to stay informed. And I want to thank you for watching Survival Society, Conversations Beyond Combat. I'll see you in the next episode. All right, Big Dog.